Mighty Micros, little things, big results. Hi guys, my name is Shun, and today we're gonna talk about Mighty Micros, little things, big results. Let's start. You might know about Mighty Micros. They're nanobots, microchips, or even software bugs, the things we can touch. They're the internet. For example, you may know a lot about some PCs like CPU, the computer central processing unit. There are also a lot of different microbots that you can see in yourself. And in the future, we might use microbots to, clean up our arteries and fight infections, help the cells get stronger and have a better immune system. And we might even make a cure for AIDS. AIDS. Yeah. Now, the WHO, the World Health Organization, is trying to make a vaccine for AIDS, and we're still not getting it. But still, we might even don't need a vaccine unless we got nanobots. Now, long ago, phytoplankton died and sank to the ocean floor. Over time, the remains turned into the oil that humans use today to power cars and heat homes. Your family's car might one day run on only phytoplankton instead of gasoline. Phytoplankton is what's oil. Yeah. Also, a lot of these things count on a lot of other things, like phytoplankton depends on energy for the sun. It's like a plant, only it's different. Phytoplankton is plankton, but it's plant. It's a plant. And zooplankton is a type of plankton, but it's an animal. Get the differences? Phyto means plant. Zoo is in zoo of zooplankton means animal, like the animals in the zoo. Now, every animal in the world, including the smallest animal in the world, including from ants to bees to fungi to spores to any living thing you can imagine, is made of cells. And every cell in the world, every cell, living cells in the world is made of genes, chromosomes and parts, and the nucleus of that cell is made of chromosomes, and chromosomes are made of genes. Genes are made of DNA, and DNA is made of 4 types of chemical bonds that only interact with each other. The 2 of them connect to each other only, and the other 2 connect to each other only. There are only 2 separate bonds they can make. Think of like this. There are 4 colored rods: red, green, blue, and yellow. The red and green can only interact together. They're the only ones who can interact together. The yellow and blue are the only ones who can interact together. One chemical can only interact with others. It cannot interact with the 2 other chemicals. Get my point? Sometimes human cells die, or they just multiply themselves. Human cells cut themselves in half and then change into smaller whole cells. Now, you might see that 1 or 2 of these cells are different. Those are skin cells. And these cells are younger than the other normal cells. Now, there are also a chain of foods, and it's called a food web. Now, it's called a food web. It's actually called a food chain, but a food chain is a part of the food web. Let me explain. A food chain is a link of a chain of who eats who. One small animal gets eaten by a big animal, that big animal gets eaten by a bigger animal, and so on. And one part of that food chain gets eaten by another animal in another food chain. And when we link those up together, makes something like a web, and we call it the food web. Get my point again? Now, these are 4 types of bacteria and viruses that we want. We want it dead or alive. Preferred dead. So we can make vaccines out of it. Now, 24% of the people in America want kids to be microchipped. I don't think so. My mom doesn't even think so too. And 76% of Americans say no to microchipped kids. I agree on them. My mom agrees on them too. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel. And if you liked this video, then hit the like button and hit that bell notification so you wouldn't miss on any of my videos. And if you enjoyed this book, go to the website for this book production, Time for Kids. And please subscribe to it. I'm not going to subscribe to it, even though I like it. I'll see you next time. Shanhan, out!